Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Okay.
This one.
Okay, good.
Come on.
Wonderful. Okay.
This one.
Okay, good.
Come on.
Wonderful.
Greetings, bon dia, morning,
This one.
and so forth to everyone. We welcome you to the press conference July 15th, 2022 with Bonaire Human Rights Organization. Greetings, bon dia, morning,
This one.
and so forth to everyone. We welcome you to the press conference July 15th, 2022 with Bonaire Human Rights Organization. Greetings. So now that we know that we have double backed on some of our listening audience, we're going to start one more time. Good morning and greetings, bon dia to everyone. This press conference being hosted July 15th, 2022 with Bonaire Human Rights Organization and Foundation, Kier, Boneieru. We're live streaming on Facebook on their respective pages, so you can look at any of the We Want Bonaire Back, the Kier Boneieru Foundation links. You can go to James Phineas page, you can go to Davika Bisier page, as well as Us Speaks to be able to see the live streaming on Facebook. We're looking forward to having persons authentically engage with us as we cover some very pertinent points of the efforts, the more than 140 days and counting of the work of the Bonaire Human Rights Organization and Foundation, Kier Boneieru. I would like to really open up from this placement and welcome our illustrious People's Ambassadors, James Phineas, President, as well as Sister Queen Davika Bisier. Good morning.
Good morning, Dr. Sanjira. Good morning, everyone. Dr. Sanjira, thank you for that eloquent opening. We appreciate your support and help to host this press conference. Welcome to the press. Welcome to everyone on Facebook and social media. We appreciate you being here today on our very first virtual press conference. Today is a very significant day for us because it has been 1 week since we have left Suriname after the very auspicious occasion of the 43rd conference heads of states meeting in Suriname. For us, it was very important to be present and was very important for us to speak to many leaders that Mr. Phineas will explain in a minute on what we have experienced and what we have achieved. So I would like to welcome you on behalf of Bonaire Human Rights Organization and Noske Bonaire Back. Bonaire Human Rights Organization is alongside Mr. Phineas and Noske Bonaire Back for a very fundamental reason: the right of self-determination of the Bonairean people. Bonaire Human Rights has been very active in the social aspect of the community of Bonaire and have witnessed many occasions where the human rights are violated. And that is why I am alongside him for that reason, to represent the rights of the Bonairean people. And as the president, I sacrifice. Today is the 147th day in this pilgrimage, and it is very hard, but we are standing together and we are going forward. We are in Panama today, but tomorrow we will not be in Panama. we'll be in another country in South America. So that is our pilgrimage. So without further ado, I'll give back the mic to Dr. Sanchira. Thanks again.
It's an honor and a privilege to be able to share even commentary in this regard. And I really desired to stay in the background, more so because this is something that has been observed for quite a while. I would be remiss if I did not ask all of the media professionals that are present any questions, any commentary. Please utilize the chat here, or when we get to the Q&A, please give us an opportunity so that we can do it in the most orderly fashion possible. I know that parts of this delivery will need to be in the more indigenous languages because we're not going to do this entire press conference in English. I'm leaving that portion up to our illustrious president of Noske Boneieru, the honorable, and I always say it, the people's ambassador, Brother James Phineas. Let's welcome Mr. Phineas.
Danke, Dr. Sanchira, e também bom dia na tour presente, seguro na membro de prensa a responder para nós temos mayanta assim 5 luna que nós saímos fora de Bonaire e riba gira a riba búsqueda e busca sostém solidariedade para o assunto de Bonaire, a situação de Bonaire e nós nos sacrificando turnos possibilidade para poder buscar solução para Bonaire. Eu sei não está fácil, sobre nós sacrificar hoje para chegar até Sinaleu e também sacrificar hoje para seguir buscar a solução e a parte principal de nós é para conscientizar, para mais gente sabe, mais país sabe, para mais lugar, instituições sabem de nossa situação e assim a ajudança vai chegar para nós. Essa é a maneira que nós tomamos coisas que hobby na sério e agora nós podemos notar que nós está hobby dedicar e hobby sério de nossa intenção para buscar uma solução para Bonaire. Então, a única coisa não quer para Bonaire, para todo bonaeriano, toda família na Bonaire, para viver na paz e felicidade, do qual nós temos direito a viver. Essa é a nossa meta final, para cada cidadão bonaeriano, para viver tem direito e vão viver tem felicidade e liberdade, que toda gente no mundo tem direito a viver. Essa é a nossa meta final, do qual nós estamos tratando de viver. Tem quadro aí, a conferência de imprensa aqui, estava sobre bastante tempo, nós estávamos na Bonaire e nós temos uma oportunidade para piorar com o povo bonaeriano, mas também depois nós temos reporteros de outro país também junto com nós, pelo papel na inglês também, e também contestar no papamento na inglês, para nós ainda na Bonaire, a mensagem, e também outro nome para fora de Bonaire, também seguir nós, pessoas não têm para solidariedade. O único motivo não tem que nós saber, pessoas não estão solidárias com nós. Bom, nós chegamos no ponto aqui que nós estamos juntos e nós queremos relatar tique over de que com Leo nós está. Sim, nós temos par de luna acaba, está cruzando o país, nós estamos no México, nós estamos na Honduras, nós estamos na Guatemala, nós estamos na Belize, nós estamos na Panamá, nós estamos na Suriname, nós estamos na vários outros países, pero seguro, nós que explica que dentro do país que nós passa e com a ajuda de Copal, nós logra para o mensagem, a situação de Bonaire agora conhecida em Latinoamérica. Latinoamérica, nós estamos na México, México, Honduras, Belize, Costa Rica, Panamá, Colômbia, Venezuela, Suriname, Uruguai, Chile, Argentina, Bolívia, Equador, me está olvidando, Paraguai, todo el país ng suramericano, centroamericano y si van a pasar el Caribe, pero también el Caribe un vez aquí, tú tan altura awe de no situación na Bonaire. Promete que sei, nunca atende de situación de Bonaire, maneira está antes y también Bonaire, maneira está actualmente. Ese es un gran logro para nosotros. Ese es un gran logro para por llegar sin el leo. Conosco por a quebrar a barreira de no comunicação entre nós romanos, latino-americanos e Caribe, nós cruza a barreira e nós logra para passar mensagem, passar nossa situação no conhecimento e nós não hacemos a base de nosso próprio sentimento, não só no qual nós experienciamos, nós hacemos a base de investigação que o povo de Bonaire paga pé, o povo de Bonaire cooperar para pagar pé, a investigação de própria governação com o grupo de Dependency Studies assim, com a direção de Dr. Corbin, e investigação é uma investigação que a Nações Unidas está reconhecer como independente e agora usar em caso cava vários viagens Nações Unidas, esta quadra com indicador com a Assembleia Geral das Nações Unidas apone para tipo de relação com o mestre funcionar e esta standard não usar para investigação da quadra que sei. Essa é a parte mais importante de nós internos cruzada aqui para nós ter facts que são dados não factível para não conotar passou nós tem problema com nós mesmos tem problema com ninguém não a coisa não agora palavra no nível internacional nós logra pôr na documento rapport que sei nós está compartilhando para dentro para país não sabe na situação a situação de nós na situação não está tolerável mais no mundo uma situação como este atenção uma situação como este ajudança para o povo mesmo não pode fazer mais por porque essa é uma situação fora de nosso controle fora de nossas mãos fora de nós ainda não nos quista sua capacidade por ter uma solução mas aí nós estamos fora de enquadre semana passada nós estávamos na reunião de CARICOM né, da fica introduzir, nós estávamos na reunião de CARICOM nacional e aí nós ture líder não, afture o primeiro-ministro não, o presidente não de parte de CARICOM abi junto, e nós estávamos em outra ocasião que nós para chegar cerca e também compartilhar e papel com nós conversar com nós discutir com nós compartilhar e nossa situação e hope nós hope abrir para nós hope nós a dar nosso espaço e para nós compartilhar. Por exemplo, me queria mais com, por exemplo, nós estávamos em conversação com o presidente de Suriname, com o presidente atual de CARICOM, o senhor Jean Santoki, que de mês ajuda-nos para que cada mais nice é o presidente atual de Suriname e ela diz nós que não está solidário com nós e não nos sostenemos de nossa luta mais leu. Também nós temos conversação com o senhor primeiro-ministro de Belize, com o senhor Briceño, Johnny Briceño, que é anterior presidente de CARICOM. Também temos conversação com o Hopicom, que também está dando-nos a solidariedade. Também nós conversamos com o presidente de Guyana, Ali, Efran Ali. Também com o primeiro-ministro de Vincent and Grenadines, com o senhor Ralph Gonzalez. Ralph Gonzalez estava entusiasmado conosco, sobre nós seguimos via nossa comunicação que nós temos via CARICOM, que nós temos nossa comunicação, nossa carta, e nós estamos contente que nós estamos parando para coisas que nós estamos bem Caribe, nós estamos seguindo, onde é o momento na OPE. Grande estava a hora que nós estamos, nós conversamos com a senhora Mia Motley é uma líder mais influenciosa do último tempo do Caribe e também no mundo. Também estava uma conversação opinada sobre a mãe, mas também de compreensão. Também nós conversamos com o primeiro-ministro de Grenada, que está nuevo, un primer ministro Hopi Young, apenas 44 años. Señor Deacon Mitchell, ahora un momento Hopi, esa satisfacción que nos mira con joven, un manera Hopi joven, había un presidente, había un primer ministro de un país bastante influenciado del Caribe, que está caminando entre Maurice Bishop, que estaba teniendo esa movimiento en Caribe este un tiempo, no se acuerda. Se estaba costando Hopi positivo que pasa con nosotros, pero en un momento Hopi grande estaba ahora con nosotros logra, estaba teniendo un encuentro cortico, pero Hopi directo, con el señor, el líder máximo en el mundo, en el momento que asinamente de unir, y el sentido de mantener paz, de intermediar, de ayuda, para cosas que buena mundo, que secretario general de Naciones Unidas, que el señor Antonio Gutiérrez, que nos conversar con el rato, y también entreguénos report, nuestra investigación. Nós está top point, caminho ao ponto máximo, que nós podemos chegar de tipo de acercamento aqui, para nossa informação chegar a nível direto. Dessa aqui está a local nós queremos compartilhar com nosso pueblo de Bonaire em primeiro lugar, mas também compartilhar com o mundo, com nós, estaremos um caminho Hope Street, Hope Direto, para buyback a lista nacional unida território na sua própria governação, para sobretecer a caminho mundo e tur outra instância não com nossa papel todo dia via mídia, via turcos, tem não é possibilidade para ajudar nós. No momento que nenhuma instância internacional não poderia ajudar nós assim para sobre não tinha passar via caminho Holanda, a Holanda não está cooperando. Holanda só para aislar nós, para sobre essa nacional, nós vai de média não, e não é Kiko, é coisa que nunca nos passar de isso não, quando a gente passar de isso não, que mende para nós hermeticamente será para o mundo afora, no qual nós estamos vivendo diariamente na Boneieru, me mira Tico e não, me mira outro rádio não, Tico mira de bel, pero outro não me mira na bel, me mira o bolso. Diariamente, na Bonaire, nós estamos buscando a situação de Bonaire, pero tem possibilidade, tem solução. Antes é a qual nós estamos buscando e a mesma meta que você está todo dia na Bonaire, buscando como ajuda a Bonaire, a mesma meta nós estamos aqui fora, buscando a possibilidade como ajuda. A ajudança tem, a ajudança possível. Bom, nós estamos caminhando, chegando, para essa é a mensagem que nós queremos dar, em princípio, para estar. E nós também temos aqui para consultar toda pergunta que tem. Essa é a ideia, a pessoa não sabe que tem outra pergunta e nós queremos contestar toda pergunta obviamente para a prensa. Okay, I'm going to say shortly in English. Okay.
Right, thank you.
Right. Okay, thank you. Okay.
Okay, James. Agora que botar na passada na Panamá e que a intenção depois que você sair para Panamá, pastor Babi vai conversar com o secretário geral da Nações Unidas, pero a conversação não formal, pero lobby, pero actualmente estão depois estão acercar com o governo de Bonaire para informar de lo cual están así y están haciendo para llegar un camino que vamos a copiarlo para seguir darle startup.
One moment, please. One moment. And to ensure that everyone gets their questions answered and their comments heard, please translate this for me, Brother Phineas. Yeah, I'm asking that you do that rendition in English quickly, and then we can go straight into the question and answer. Believe it or not, we did have an agenda, so we're going to follow that wonderful agenda that's been prepared. So can you give the summation just for our English listeners, and then address this illustrious journalist inquiry and commentary? Thank you very much for that.
Yes, sí. Tico nos estaba bien na pergunta não vez aqui, pero me vai dar cortico na inglês introduction. Yes, it was for us tomorrow will be exactly 5 months we leave our island Bonaire in the quest to get awareness to the international community where we feel that will be some solidarity and support for the cause of Bonaire, of the people of Bonaire. So we have been on this pilgrimage. We went to the Central and South America countries. So we went to from today of now in Mexico, in Honduras, in Belize, in all the Latin American countries till Chile down. All of them are aware today of the situation of Bonaire because that was our first objective to live. Because when we introduced ourselves, most of them never heard of Bonaire. They know some knows of Aruba, and then they do not know nothing more that happened in the Caribbean to this island, but all are solidarity with the situation that they think is something from the past. We all think we are in the whole world think we are in a post-colonial status, but now they know that that's not the case, and that is what we achieved. That is a big achievement to have this information to be spread around, and all looking at us. Oh, we need to help these people because they cannot help themselves. That's why it's the situation. So with that, we rounded up that last week. We were in Suriname, Paramaribo, with the 43rd head of states meetings. That was very interesting for us, was very successful for us because the lobbying part, what we do is to get the message across, went very well because we have all the prime ministers from the Caribbean and CARICOM states and also presidents from several countries that were part of the CARICOM. So we had the opportunity to speak to for the second time with the new president of Suriname, Mr. Shan Santoki, who is also the chairman of the CARICOM. Also had the opportunity to speak with, have interaction with Mr. Johnny Briceño, who is the Prime Minister of Belize. So that we also did have the opportunity to talk and speak with the one from Guyana, Mr. Ali, and also from Mr. Ralph Gonzalez from the St. Vincent and the Grenadines, was very strong, have sent a very strong message earlier this year in the world and the Caribbean that they stand for principles, and that is a very nice to hear from him that he said, yes, I'm getting your letters, so I understand, and we're there for you. So that are very comforting interactions for us as a small island where we venture out to seek for possibilities. We seek for attention to our case, and also we had opportunity to speak with briefly and also interaction with Mrs. Mia Motley, one of the strongest leaders in the world now, who is one of the most influential people in the world now. So that is very, very big for us as a small island, I say, because they never hear from this island, they never hear of Bonaire case, they never hear of the situation. So for them was a very eye-opening. And also we speak also with the new Prime Minister of Grenada, very young Mr. Dickon Mitchell, very, very awarding, very, very few for the future. We have future. I said, when I see this young man standing there and talking nicely to us, I say, no, not all is lost. We have future. There's our possibilities. We can build them. So, and the most one of the most important moments for us was when we had the opportunity to briefly speak with the Secretary General of the United Nations, Mr. Antonio Gutierrez, where we handed him also over our report, the self-governance assessment report, and the same report was also what we awarded. We give over to handed over to most of the leaders. Why we say in this report is important because we go up with our situation at our heart, with our issues inside us, but internationally, it's not easy for them to just understand, feel for us without any facts. And this report, self-governance assessment, that is has been financed by the people of Bonaire. Everybody give $1 and $10. They know everybody is part of this, what this history is making. But they proved with this report that we fall below the minimum standards that the United Nations standards and international law. That was the conclusion of this report. And this report is recognized, accepted by the United Nations as an independent, viable report because it's used and comprised, it's made based on the indicators of self-governance that the General Assembly of the United Nations has approved. So this is very serious what we're talking about. This is not only our own ideas, this is at the highest level. This is now in the world that we can get. We are now at that level. So with that in mind, I think we want today to answer questions and also have share this with our people in Bonaire first, because for 5 months we didn't have this communication with our people in Bonaire. This is our first virtual conference. This is our first conference we had. Press conference we have with the press since 5 months ago. We left Bonaire, so this is for us very important day, and this is also for the Caribbean and the world. Whoever is following is very important for us to get understanding for our situation, and we are open for questions. Yes.
Thank you. So please use this time to answer the first question that was shared by Amaro Gerard. If I have the name incorrectly, I apologize. I'm just going by what's here. So please move forward.
Sí, pergunta estava com que dia com nós está chegando ao governo de Boneieru para sobre segundo o senhor Tik Yanga com caminho do governo de Isla me se war envolvido dentro do projeto. Me vai contestar não. O governo de Boneieru não é necessário para esta parte do projeto aqui de Nações Unidas. O projeto de Nações Unidas está baseado em projeto que está sobrepassar o governo de Boneieru, se está a favor ou contra, está sobrepassar o governo de Holanda, se está a favor ou contra. E o governo não tem nos em situação atualmente, que nós estamos a favor de Boneieru, buscando direitos que não tem nada de trova ou decidir de decisão. Decisão é uma decisão da Assembleia Geral de Nações Unidas e talvez nós estamos a favor de Boneieru, talvez nós estamos a cielo, mas sobre se nós será depender do governo de Boneieru ou governo de Holanda, nós não podemos sentar aqui assim aqui, talvez nós estamos fazendo sobre não está querendo. Lo que sim me que aconselhar o governo de Boneieru, sim, o governo de Holanda assim acaba. O governo de Boneieru, por tomar exemplo no governo de Holanda, ou o que passa na Holanda, para o dia passado, que o governo de Boneieru que ajuda é assunto que cana mais rápido para lograr êxito com a Holanda, também cooperar, assim não como líder não político, portanto como partido, como líder não político na Boneieru foi já o que vai de mídia, vai de Coran, vai uma rádio televisão visa com o qual nós estamos brincando como nós que Boneieru vai com Boneieru e uma gente finista bem explicando para aí é coisa algo muito bom Boneieru, não tem nenhum problema com ele, nós tudo lo mesmo sostener. Desde se governo tico, senhor Yanga, que tudo sobra, seguindo nós, se nós que ajuda como governo de Boneieru, se nós que ajuda como boneriano, se nós que ajuda de maneira, a única declaração que tem assim, é algo bom para a isla, é algo bom para o passario direito internacional, é passario resolução nacional unida, é passario questão legal, questão que nós está absolutamente, que é uma simples ação aí, lo cambia toda a situação que tem em relação com a Holanda, que vai cambiar muito rápido, sobre Holanda sim, a dona sua boca que diga acaba. Isso que nós agora, yang 3 semanas passadas, 4 semanas passadas, Holanda apone 3 milhões expertos na constitucional legal. Eu é caso aqui e na a declarar, o qual nós sabemos explicar, na a dona boca, o qual nós aceita a verdade, está correto. Que Aceita me contesta.
And if you would be so kind as to just give us a short summary of what was exchanged, please.
Okay. Oh, the question was, we are not governmentals, and that somewhere down the line, before we get so far to the United Nations, that the government of Bonaire has to be involved to this to happen. Our answer is no. This is not a decision of the government of Bonaire. It's not a decision of the government of Holland. This is a decision of the international community, United Nations, that stand for peoples. The United Nations recognize peoples. That is peoples. That is their standpoint. So this is a decision above the government of our island. This is a decision above the government of Ireland. That's why we're sitting here today, because of the reason. Because they are the ones who can help us get it at that level of the of acceptance. So if we had to count on the government of Bonaire, of the government of Netherlands to do it, this will never happen, because it never happened. It will continue the situation, and we always, what we have been witnessing for all these years. What the government of Bonaire can do, because that was a question. The government of Bonaire, what they can do to help at this point in time very much to change the situation is to say publicly, politicians say publicly that what we are doing is something good, something very good for the community, something very good for the people of Bonaire, that is according to the international laws, is according to the United Nations and charters, according to everything that we stand today in the world for as to legal and according to human rights of the people of Bonaire. So if the government of Bonaire does that, or even the politicians go out does that, so the situation will change in no time. Holland will respect us in no time, because they know they're not right, they're wrong. And they just about 3 weeks to 4 weeks ago confirmed that they were wrong, that what we were being fighting for now is right. And they did that because 3 of the main legal experts did a fact check on what we are talking about now, that we want to go back on the list, Article 73. They fact check it and report it back to the Dutch government that what we're saying is what they also understand.
Yeah.
So we are actually at the end point of this. If we all understand, we reach the moment of victory.
Thank you very much for that. And thank you again for journalist Amaru Gerard for that inquiry. Are there any other questions as we move forward in this press conference from any of the other members that are here present? Are there any other questions?
Okay, que men James me comprende bom aeroporto está na gatraha e sei a cana su caminho tá canando su caminho e lo llega dia que bostan meta e objeção e objetivo lo llega Nación Unida e ese lo que da resolver que Bonaire lo vai arriba a lista de nacional sin a proprio governação.
Critico. Essa é a intenção de ser nós canando, ser de caminhos canando para via de aeroporto. Nos caso vou apresentar na Nacional Unida em Assembleia Geral e aí na Nacional Unida para tomar a decisão para pôr nos back de lista de território na sem própria governação. E dessa nos mesma iniciativa está, so não é na tabela para nós. Apesar de nós estar canal caminho pessoas de em corto, vou pergunta e contesta.
Anche,
Eu pergunto mais.
ok, tem
Sim, James, bom dia. Eu tenho uma pergunta para você. Ok, agora você logra a meta aqui, você logra Boneieru back riba país não de sem própria governação. O que isso significa para Holanda? Agora você logra a meta aqui.
essa unificar para a Holanda, esta é obrigação e responsabilidade de rapportar tur ano de novo na Assembleia Geral de Nações Unidas, riba nos desarrollo do povo de Bonaire, riba su desarrollo econômico, social, educativo, cultural, que mais tudo coisa tem a ver com a vida de bonaiano, no momento que nós estamos experienciando vai assim atrás, de uma decadência, a cultura estava desfazendo, coisa desfazendo, não lo ainda vai rapportar back com nanta sorry, para que estabilizar, e durante tudo bonaiano back, eu poderia dar na economia, com nanta vai sorry, para quitar tudo, e holandês na vinda poner tu posição na Bonaire, para durante o bonaiano back, su direito de poder governar sua isla no futuro, que mani, havia cambio completamente diferente, está passando hoje com Holanda, não cada 4 anos tem eleição, está conta a história, bisa quem tem as Kiko, pero cada ano de novo, durante 2 dias para ano, tem seminário na caminho, o governo de Bonaire, com a organização social cívica de Bonaire, junto com expertos de internacional, junto com o comitê de colonização, junto com a Holanda, nós temos seminário para discutir com e papia e palavra e trazer resolução quando vai da Assembleia Geral para como tem vai cambiar a situação de Bonaire. E nós temos uma discussão entre político de Bonaire que não tem como se pode ameaça para visar o qual Holanda quer haver uma discussão abrir oficialmente Nações Unidas e tornar a instituição que vai Nações Unidas vai virar parte da relação, uma relação que nós não conhecemos ainda, mas uma relação que é somente para bem-estar e direito do povo bonaiano. Essa é a situação para nós como bonaianos, mas é uma obrigação para a Holanda, porque a nossa própria política, a nossa própria comunidade internacional, para dizer de como sim. Essa é uma situação completamente diferente com nossa experiência. Nunca de Holanda sua história e não dá conta na UN do que está fazendo. É uma obrigação da comunidade internacional.
Esse é mesmo que eu pergunto, James, mas eu entendo a trajetória como Sanka aqui para chegar na caminho Santa aqui e com o Salo vai lograr tanto que se Salo se luta. Nunca Holanda nem governo de Bonaire não estava um parte do que você anda sei, foi lá que Salo a comunicar com você anda sei. Porque era com hora que Salo logra esse Holanda lo vai Holanda obvia não respeita o because na chão não se conhece sei não nada quis para mais próprio essa de estatuto não sei. Mas que Holanda lo vai volto e bisa, ok, agora se chega um momento que nós mesmo vai respeitar isso aqui e na gênero que também vai fazer.
Essa é a intenção que tem, porque a Holanda tem que escolher entre pernas e cara, que é um grande que muito jovem no mundo, a cumprir com o qual que me afirma, então me quer Holanda, nós queremos Holanda. A coisa traz caminho cava lá, a coisa bisa cava com nossa direção. Também a coisa preparar cava bisa nossa direita situação. Também Holanda, dor que queda bom ainda, que se gasta negócio do país, em que dá esse número, coisa mais simples de ter assim, reação para nós viver conforme a regra não contra. Se não quer se sei, esta virou uma batalha internacional, mas eu ainda não está aceitar o qual não está sendo algo que tampouco, mas é maneira também vai net, e nós queremos na lo assim net também, mas eu não está mim não vai papia hora com Holanda, né? Nós a comunidade internacional não vai questionar Holanda riba sua ação.
Pero James, agora vamos bem back, mas também é confrontado com o governo bonaiano, completamente.
One moment, just give us one moment. I want you to hold that point. I need for us to share it in a summary so that the listeners that are not fluent in the tongue of Bonaire can just follow with the support. For persons that are just joining us, I'm going to remind them, this is a press conference. It's July 15th. We are here with the organizers that have been on the road for 5 months. I'm going to say it again, for 5 months, sharing the cause of the Bonaire Human Rights Organization, and along with the foundation of We Want Bonaire Back and those organizations that support that. I need for the persons to be clear. We have President James Phineas, who was sharing, and I'm grateful to Brother James for being our translator and our presenter.
It's
And I'm
possible
also-
to do it in English too. There's no problem.
Okay, we'll see, that assists
It's
us.
possible to do it
If
in
you want,
English. There's no problem.
perfect, that's what
Just
I
the last
love.
question. The last question is that.
Okay, go ahead.
The last question is that what they do is very nice. That they're reaching the point what they want to reach. But for us, is when they're coming back to the island, they still have the Bonairean government who never worked together with them to reach this point. And my question was, how are they going to deal with that?
That's why they're here. Okay, I didn't mean to answer for you, Brother James, so let me pause. I will let you finish, and then I do need to add a commentary because that's exactly why we're helping them. I'm in the Virgin Islands. We have a similar story. There are brothers and sisters that are watching this in Africa, in Europe, in the Polynesian Islands, seriously, as far as West Papua New Guinea, that are interested in knowing how do we offer support, global support for what is happening to our sisters and brothers in Bonaire. And so I just wanted to add that portion because there's a question in the chat from Milton J. Coy, and I love that piece of knowledge aids understanding. I do not know all of his identification portions, but I just would like to raise this question in this discussion. Yeah. What will James do with the level of support given or shown by regional CARICOM leaders? That's a very poignant question because that's exactly what you just said. Is, you know, how do you get, if the Bonairean government is having a challenge to support this effort to support Bonairean people, if the Netherlands Kingdom and all the names, I try not to just focus on Dutch, yeah? I want to focus on the Netherlands Kingdom. That's a very powerful sovereign. If they do not hear this when it's said in Bonaire, we are here to support it being heard around the entire globe in every single social media network and every single productive media network possible. That's why this is happening. And we're hoping to be able to support with other networks providing this support as well. That's, if you can say that short for me in your language, that would be helpful. So persons can know that we're here to offer an opportunity and platforms so people know what's going on. Not everybody leaves their home for 5 months and goes on the road to tell their story. Not this story, let me give it the proper term, to tell the truth of what is happening in their country. That is very, and I'm saying this from a place of security, from a place of conviction, from a place of passion. Right? This is really important. So I'm really grateful for any other members that are present that can share questions directed to them on how can we help you to move forward? How do we support that so that in Bonaire, they're hearing, the entire world is watching.
Okay, I can answer it directly with the answer. I can build up directly with the last question of Mr. Amado. Yes. Amado. Mr. Amaro. I answer in English, then I come back in Papiamento. Yes, that's exactly what we're doing to garner the support because at this moment we were alone and isolated. And when you're alone, isolated, and when you're on your knees, the enemy looks so big and strong. But when you're on your feet and you are supported in solidarity with others, then everything becomes more clear, more possible. So we think by getting this strength of the international community based on law, yes, based on law and based of what is right, then there's no option for non-Bonairean leader to feel strength because now they all are on the knees and very afraid, hiding. We went out. That's why we went out and we're on the world. We're not afraid because being afraid and being silent will not save us. So that's why the only thing we can do is share the word. And what I'm thanking you, Mrs. Sanjira, and all the Caribbean world who knows that we need the support because this is about rights, very fundamental rights. So that's why it's very important that the Bonairean leadership also, that's what they said, get involved and understand this is good. This is good for us, and they're not alone anymore. So then I think they will have some strength to change their view that this is good for them. First place, because they will have a voice. No, they have no voice. So, and then this is good for Bonaire, because Bonaire people, the rights are being shattered. And so this is good for islands. So that is what we think will be achieved at the end with what we're doing, to give them power and strength to all Bonaires and all leaders of Bonaire.
Okay, not only the Bonairean government, but also all the political parties on Bonaire. There will be elections coming up, as we know, next year in March 2023 for Bonaire, even though we have no autonomy. So our elected politicians now and in the next election won't have the power. As we all know, The Hague in Holland makes all the decisions. But even all the politicians on Bonaire, we appeal to them to give us the support of what we're doing. Mr. Finney's telephone number, WhatsApp, is 599 782 5664. I repeat the number, 599 782
5664.
5664. So that's his WhatsApp number. So we are awaiting the support from all politicians of Bonaire in this trajectory to release Bonaire on the non-self-governing territory list. Again, we don't need the governments of Holland or Bonaire to be relisted on the non-self-governing territories, but it will be good for them to be with the people, because the people voted 65.6% in the last referendum, rejecting the Dutch constitutional change that is present in Bonaire. 65.6% rejected that. So the people do not want this present status of Bonaire, as we are embedded in the Dutch constitution without equal rights. Equal rights meaning that the minimum wage of Holland and the minimum wage of Bonaire is far different. The pension in Holland and in Bonaire is far different. All the social benefits that the European Dutch receives in Holland, Bonaire doesn't receive it. So the way is we are embedded as second-class citizens in the Dutch constitution. So we are, that is the reason that we are asking for support from the international community to object to this illegal annexation. And Mr. Coy's question was, what will how can the international support us? They are supporting us in the General Assembly of the United Nations. They will support us to relist Bonaire on the non-self-governing territory list. That is what the support that they will give us.
Okay.
Thank you
so
very much
James,
for that. Give me one
just-
second,
just-
1 second. Give me 1 second.
We need to
Amado.
leave, so we have to finish the program. So just a last question before we leave.
Okay, last question. Go
We
ahead.
don't have time, guys. James, so 5 months of a journey around the Caribbean and Latin America. You're coming stronger back to the island with a lot of support of the other islands, a lot of support of CARICOM, elections coming on, so nobody can take a vote on NKBB anymore, you're thinking, because now they have to choose for Bonaire or for what you guys are fighting for.
Can I answer that question?
Of course.
And then Mr. B, we're not coming home.
You're not coming home?
No, we're going to the United Nations and get this thing done.
No, I know, I know. So when you are
then you're
back,
coming
so when
home.
you are back, they can take a vote. They can take a vote on you because now you're coming back stronger. Now you got the United Nations, you got CARICOM, you got the other islands around you. So there must be some politicians on this island who are going to wake up and say, okay, now we need to join them because for this fight, or not a fight anymore, because you reach your point already, and to be strong to organize whatever you want to organize with Holland to make a solutions coming on for this problem that you're fighting for like 4 or 5 years already.
Yes. Yes, that is
Thank you
the,
very much, because we need to
Thank you
go.
very
We
much,
have-
Amado. Thank you very much. We appreciate your input, and we're looking forward to some solutions. And again, making your message as wide as possible. That's what we're focusing on. Let the globe know what is going on in Bonaire. Small little space with big impact. That's what we're getting across. Usually it's the small acts that gets the forest. Remember that. Keep going, Brother James.
one,
Bom,
Oh, go ahead.
one more,
Yes, brother. Go ahead.
one more thing
Thank
about
you.
that.
Thank you. Bedankt.
Thank you.
Thank you.
One more, before we leave, one more thing to the people of Bonaire, how we do this, the people, cosa más, conos ecoquita posible, el pueblo de Bonaire está sosteniéndonos para ecoquita posible. También el pueblo de Bonaire hace donación para nosotros lograr traer investigación internacional. El pueblo de Bonaire está ayudándonos para no estar haciendo cosas. Y que me han no duda que el pueblo de Bonaire tiene hope de salir de publicidad, salir de land, también está ayudándonos para nos hacer cosas, para nada nos está haciendo. Que me han el político o líder busca tener cuenta que comentario nos mismos está haciendo, el pueblo nos traspasar. No puede salir en público, tico un mensaje, tú rendes a, tico está en la situación, no visa algo públicamente, o no like en Facebook, pero también está ayudándonos para hacer cosas posible. Gracias, si me quiere ayudar a compartir también. Sigue buen trabajo.
Thank you very much for that. I will ask if you have any closing reflections that you'd like to have the viewers recall so the persons are clear on what was the purpose. We've covered that in terms of sharing what the Bonaire Human Rights Organization and the foundation We Want Bonaire Back is bringing to the table. You are on 5 months and counting on your road to having the United Nations relist Bonaire as part of that list of, we use the term non-self-governing, non-incorporated territories of sovereigns, because it's very important, because that's going to assist with self-determination. And I would love for you to share some reflections in that regard. And right before you do that, I just would like to make sure that I mention that for persons that are not aware, there is a forthcoming publication called Bonaire Self-Determination Denied. Phenomenal work. As soon as the link is available, and it's available virtually as well as the hard copy, I'm hoping that our illustrious People's Ambassador of Bonaire, President James Phineas, will share another opportunity for us to highlight some of the fantastic information and data and truthful narratives of what has been the experience of our brothers and sisters in Bonaire. So with that, please share your closing reflections.
Okay, English and Papuendo both.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Sí, nos está agradecido a ver que prensa bonaiano a responder y prensa bonaiano teipa sobre esta importante para el pueblo de Kiko nos está haciendo por último luna y con Leo no se llega y también Kiko le beneficia en futuro para el otro tesoro para tener un futuro más brillante, un futuro más bonita para Yunan y todas las futuras generaciones. Entonces, esta meta con nuestro foro y nos agradecido en la prensa bonaiano para acompañarnos a ver, para darnos una posibilidad de compartir el mensaje aquí con el pueblo de Bonaire y tour sonanco y a ver también aquí con antiguo así, nanchis sostener no no establece algo hobby y es solamente acción simple lo cambia gente en dirección de Bonaire para el futuro. Y thank you. English, yes, we're very thankful that we had opportunity today with Dr. Sincere and the international community to share with you some of our advancements on our quest to make our situation aware in the Caribbean, Central and South America, in the world. I think that's the objective today. We thank you so much to have joined us today. And the only way we can move forward is by helping this message to keep being spread. And by that, I think you help us as much as Ms. Coy said. Yeah, solidarity. Solidarity is the only way forward because this is issue of us of all. And all of us will help each other and we can make the next step. We as Bonaireans can make the next step that most of the people in the world already forget about it. We still have to make that first step yet. And I think we have the right as anybody else to have to live in peace with each other and enjoy life. That's our purpose of life. Thank you, Dr. Sanjira. Thank you, all of us.
So it's my turn now. So thank you, Dr. Sanjira. Thank you, everyone, for being with us on this very first virtual, not the last, I hope, Dr. Sanjira. So we thank everyone. So to understand more or less for our international, or let's say our Caribbean brothers and sisters and the media, to understand more of what we're doing, it's two sections. One, it's very difficult to be able to have to keep all our meetings confidential and our progress confidential. Because of course, if you're working on something that should be worked on, then, and to get results, you cannot disclose it until you get the results. So it's a very difficult journey we are on. But like Mr. Finis explained, we have been to every Central American countries and we'll continue our voyage on touring the South American and visiting leaders and organizations and universities in this Latin and Central America to gain more results, to make awareness not only for Bonaire, not only for the 6 Dutch islands, but also for every single Caribbean nations and islands and territories that we exist, and we need your help because our oppressors are, our colonizers are present as they were 300 years ago. Most of us don't get, most of the people in Latin America don't even know we exist. So they don't even know where the Caribbean is. So now they know, and now they understand. So we are diplomats for our Caribbean people. So thank you so much, and let's keep in touch. And we will, as I said, everything cannot be disclosed publicly, but we will try our best to keep everyone updated. Thank you so much.
And thank you all for tuning in here. This has been Dr. Chinzira Davis Kahina of Speaks, this press conference with the Bonaire Human Rights Organization and the Foundation If We Want Bonaire Back will be available on live stream for the duration of your needs, your use. Make sure that you remember those numbers. The WhatsApp for President James Phineas is 599-782-5664. And just so that persons get a feel for what was taking place, we share this just as an idea of thought, so the persons know what is going on. Very short. With that, we say have a blessed afternoon. And remember, we want Bonaire back. Have a blessed day. Wonderful weekend.
Thank you.